Coming to you live from Kansas City. Welcome to BuknBob Take on Chiefs Kingdom, a podcast for fans by fans, bringing you the latest news, analysis, and spirited discussions about what's happening around Chiefs Kingdom.
I'm Buck. I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan with a passion for yelling at the refs and the coaches via the TV.
And I'm Bob, your go-to guy for bad takes and a knack for upsetting listeners.
Together, we bring a unique blend of expertise, enthusiasm, and fan perspective to every episode. So whether you're a diehard Chiefs supporter or you just love the game of football, join us as we dive into the world of the Kansas City Chiefs.
How about those Chiefs?
How about them?
All right. So this is where we shout out our sponsors, which we have none. So call us.
We're taking calls, all of them.
But let's jump into the news real quick. There's not a ton going on, but do you want to just go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, well, the first thing that we're going to cover is Thursday's OTA was cut short due to the second-year tight end B.J. Thompson had a seizure in the middle of special teams meeting. He went into a cardiac arrest, so they went ahead and canceled the remaining activities for the day, which you should. It's a sad event. Hopefully he's all right. I've heard since he has been getting better. So hopefully he'll be able to play his role on the team as he was intending to this year.
Yeah, I heard just today he's able to talk to the doctors. They expect to release him pretty soon. But that gives us no knowledge on football readiness and if he's going to be able to play. And it's kind of scary, man. It
is scary. And they're definitely going to take the most precaution. Better to be safe than sorry. And that's to be expected. I hope the best for B.J. Thompson. I'll be paying attention.
Yeah, it's just sad. Like it's just weird when those types of things happen on the field. You know, we saw it when the Bills had their one guy go down and was bleeding out of the mouth and on the field, and they were trying to get the game still going. And you looked at like all the Bills players, and they looked like they had seen a ghost. They were all white as hell.
Yeah, it's scary. It takes you, makes you think of the Damar Hamlin incident. When I was in junior high school, my principal was in a little playful basketball game with the basketball team, and he had a heart attack on the floor. Things, man, you really gotta be prepared for that kind of thing. And I'm sure they were, and I'm sure he got the best care money can buy. But yeah, definitely scary. Still hope the best for B.J. Thompson.
Yeah, and it makes you think about real life and. This guy's healthy. The NFL players are like top notch, like healthiest people, top 1%. And this could happen to him. It's just like take every day.
Yeah.
Like it's your last. And,
it definitely makes you think for sure.
Well, the OTAs, I've heard a lot about who's been absent. Who's been absent?
Well, who's been absent? As of Thursday, there were 11 guys absent, including B.J. Thompson. But besides him, defensive tackle Isaiah Buggs, he's currently involved in an off-the-field legal situation. We've got linebacker Leo Chanel, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, defensive tackle Chris Jones, running back Isaiah Pacheco, wide receiver Rashee Rice, and wide receiver Justin Ross, tight end of Irv Smith Jr., wide receiver Kadarius Toney, and left guard Joe Thuney, who is, as we mentioned in the first cast, he's still coming back from the injury that he suffered in the playoffs last year.
So people that jump out to me, why is Kadarius Toney not there? Why is Justin Ross not there?
Why is Isaiah Pacheco and Chris Jones not there?
Well, Chris Jones has earned his right to not be there, in my opinion. Same as Travis Kelce, if he wasn't there, would be on that list. But Isaiah Pacheco dealt with a lot of different injuries. I guess Kadarius Toney did deal with some injuries, but I mean, your status on this team is not for sure. Same with Justin Ross. I feel like any wide receiver that's not there is freaking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah. Well, speaking of Rashee Rice, they were. I was reading the headlines, and he's facing 8 criminal charges, along with his former teammate from SMU, Theodore Knox. Right now, they're both facing millions of dollars, millions with an S of dollars in lawsuits. He's also got that run-in with the Dallas photographer, although it looks like he wants to drop all the charges. So hopefully that isn't going to be something that we have to worry about going forward. But this traffic accident, that's a tough one. I hope this young man can come back from this. This can do a lot to a man's psyche. A young man, an impressionable man, and he's not some big star on the field yet, as though it's decided that he will be.
I mean, it's obvious. He's just watching the footage and him and his friends laughing as they're walking away from the car. It's obvious that they're just children still, children with a lot of money. It's dangerous. Unfortunately, let's just hope that he grows up. That's all I've got to say. And I hope that he makes it, because I'd like to see him get some more touchdowns for us. But at the same time, his personality traits are not looking great at the moment.
His character. Yeah, for sure. Definitely not somebody that I want as a role model for my children at this point, but you never know. Guys turn it around all the time. Let's hope that he's on the correct trajectory, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. But Hardman re-signed.
Yeah, I like the signing. I've always liked Mecole Hardman. Is he the best wide receiver on the field? Almost never, but his heart's always in it, and his mind is always in it, and he doesn't make the stupid little mistakes that other wide receivers tend to make.
As many stupid little mistakes,
as many. Yeah,
he's like that cat that keeps showing up at your door, and you feed them a little bit, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Well, that was a problem. We fed him, and the Jets didn't. And now he's back.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. Just a little production. Be a great 4th or 5th wide receiver for this team. And you're golden.
Well, we've been talking about OTAs, and I think Kadarius Toney, Justin Ross not showing up for OTAs. This is kind of like a kick in the pants. This is kind of like a unsaid, you ain't safe, bro, type of deal, I think. And I think it's good. And he made that catch in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
he did.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm fine with him getting re-signed.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Not everybody's happy about it, but I am. I'll take it. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely taking it.
Hopefully, he's still above Toney in the depth chart next year, though. That's my only hope.
We'll see.
So next on the agenda, Justin Reed. We talked about in the last podcast, the potential for him to take over some of the kickoff responsibilities. And so he was asked about it, and he was quoted. He said, I would love to do it because special teams plays a vital role in the game. The game is 3 phases: offensive, defense, and special teams. And in the Super Bowl, special teams was the difference with us winning and losing. We had that punt that we were able to capitalize on and get the ball back for our offense near their goal line and capitalize on that turnover. So special teams makes a humongous difference, and I'm willing to do anything to help us win. And I think his play on the field, it shows exactly that. He loves the game of football. He loves to be a Kansas City Chief. He loves to win. I can't wait, man. I think special teams, they're going to have some stuff up. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just what they're allowing us to know. They're going to come up with some crazy stuff.
Yep.
And I'm so excited. So excited.
I just remember when I first found out he could kick. I think our kicker went down mid-game, and then all of a sudden he just came out for kickoffs, and I was like, oh God,
yeah, this is going to be bad.
Oh God. And then he just boots it, and I was like, wait a second. And then they started talking about on the broadcast that he kicked.
Yeah, you could tell they started pulling his name up to see the history, his kicking history. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see if Zama makes any sort of contribution to it too. Like that'll be something neat to see. Supposedly, I guess he went to a softball home run derby the other day, and he said that he never hit a softball. He never held a softball bat. I'm sure he probably held a cricket bat before in his life, but like, supposedly he whiffed 3 balls. And then the next 2 he hit over the fence. He did a home run. It was like a softball home run derby of some kind. But yeah, I just heard about that. But sounds like he's just an athlete overall, just like crazy hand-eye coordination, good vision, and adapts quickly.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a few of his highlights from rugby, and he's no slouch, man. He's definitely willing to go in and take a hit, and he's one of the fastest guys on the field. So hopefully he's got it between the temples, and I think that's a winning combination.
Definitely.
So the next thing that we have is the player of the week. Last week we talked about Justin Reed in the chess game. This time we've got Isaiah Pacheco. So Pacheco, we've just got a couple of things about him here. He entered the NFL as a second-round pick, 251st overall by the Chiefs in the 2022 NFL Draft. And in those 2 seasons, he's had 12 touchdowns. 830 rushing yards, was 4th amongst NFL rookies in 2022, and he scored 5 rushing touchdowns, which led the team, and recorded the second most touchdowns among NFL rookies in 2022.
It's crazy, man. Damn near close to like Mr. Irrelevant, and he's been just killing it. It's crazy to just see that type of performance from a 7th round pick.
And I've really never seen a guy like that come in and make a change to the team. I'm telling you, Clyde Edwards-Helaire did not run that hard before Pacheco joined the team.
Oh, I did.
He absolutely had that effect. And look at all the running backs now. They all do it. They run like they're pissed off at the ground. And they got that from Pacheco. This guy is
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. That guy just loves to run into things and fall over. It's his favorite thing to do, man.
Sounds a lot like Larry Johnson.
But he definitely... Well, I mean, Larry Johnson ran through people. Like, he had some really good years.
Not that first year. That first year, you looked at him the wrong way. He was going down.
Yeah, but, I mean, he had a couple years after that were just, like, monster. I mean, he was the best fantasy pick of, all time for those 2 years. And, I mean, it was nuts. But Edwards-Helaire has never lived up to his draft position or anything, and it just always looks like he's half-assing it. But I don't even know if it was Pacheco this last year or the fact that it was a contract year. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure it was his contract year.
Oh, I mean, well, Pacheco still, if it's your contract year and you see Pacheco going out there, not only is he tearing up the field, but the fans absolutely love him. I mean, that if he can't...
He stays for hours after games signing stuff. I mean, he's eating it up.
Yeah, yep. Not taking any of it for granted.
We'll see how long that lasts. I mean, that's how stardom is in the beginning, and then it's annoying.
Yep.
Because you just want to be left alone. But he's having a blast.
So off the field here recently, he did return to Rockbridge High School in Columbia, Missouri. We wanted to bring this up. for the second consecutive season to hold a youth football camp. So he teamed up with Flexwork Sports Management. They welcomed hundreds of kids aged 6 to 16, along with several volunteer coaches, and they taught the kids fundamentals and how to improve their skills. I love it when they give back. I know it's kind of encouraged, but some guys give it more of an effort than others. And I think when you're involving kids, you got my vote.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rashee Rice even did some stuff for the community recently, but everybody got on him about doing it with the camera on. It's like, well, what do you expect?
Yeah.
I mean, of course you're going to have the camera on.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And you wouldn't even know about it if the camera wasn't on.
Right.
People are like weird about that stuff. They're very weird. But I do get it. I mean, Keanu Reeves, actor, amazing guy, like does nice things for people all the time and never records any of it. Like, the only time it gets recorded is when somebody records it behind his back, basically.
Yep.
So I guess there is something to be said for just doing things because you want to do them. But at the same time, Keanu Reeves is established, doesn't need
the added
press.
coverage.
Yeah. So,
and Rashee Rice could definitely use all the
good. He could use the good press
that he can get. And even if he's doing it for that reason, at least it's still happening. There's still some good in the world, and there's probably a little bit more good in the world now because of this, because of what he's going through, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Well, we don't have really much as far as like news and stuff to talk about. It's going to be much more exciting when we can talk about games and stuff. But like, there's just not a lot to talk about right now. Is there anything we want to just like talk about, like Chiefs wise? Like, let's talk about the stadium. Because Kansas keeps ramping up, trying to find a way to get the Chiefs over to the Kansas side. And that's an ongoing thing. How do we feel about that?
I live on the Kansas side, so I'd love to see it. That being said, Arrowhead is Arrowhead, and a new Arrowhead, it better be like the best experience ever. But and it will be, but then the ticket prices will be so high. Okay, so I've just convinced myself, let's stay in Jackson County. Let's keep Arrowhead. I apologize for pounding the table. Let's keep Arrowhead where it is. It is such an event. I think they can do some renovations and make that place epic. That's my vote. That's what I want.
I don't know what I want. Part of me wants them just to reset everything. I mean, a big part of me wants them to have it downtown. I mean, I think that would be so cool. I just remember going to a Denver Broncos game downtown Denver, and it was just super cool with everybody there and walking to the stadium and stuff. But then again, I don't know if I really want that congestion when trying to go to a game. And then at the same time, congestion right now going to the game, there's many different entrances, but I'm sure with today's basically like knowledge of how to like work in and out traffic in stadiums, I think they could make it a lot better and a lot easier to get in. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Usually we go early as hell to tailgate, but at the same time, it's kind of a pain to get in there and out of there. And also we won a Super Bowl, and we kind of need like a top to the stadium to have a Super Bowl here. So there's that too. And I don't know, it would be weird having it on the Kansas side, but I don't think it would change fandom all that much. And it would be a little closer to me to go to games, and probably a lot easier for me to score season tickets. So
I don't think it would change fandom at all. I mean, really, there might be a couple of people in Jackson County that are butthurt for a couple of years, but I mean, they're going to buy the new Mahomes jersey in another 3 or 4 years. I mean, I think if it stays in the area, I'm good with whatever is decided. Because like you, I don't like the idea of it going downtown because of traffic, but I think that with where we are now in society, with how we build our roads and the understanding, like you said, and the knowledge of everything, I think it's something that can definitely be worked around. So yeah, I mean, wherever they put it, but I still think my number one vote is stay in Jackson County, do renovations, but whatever they decide, it's going to be an event, and I can't wait to see what's decided, and I'm going to go either way. So
now, if they went to St. Louis, I'd be pretty pissed.
There's no way they're going to St. Louis.
The St. Louis Chiefs.
There's like a 0.1% chance. There's almost no chance they'll go to St. Louis.
Oof.
They would go to Vegas and be the second team in the in Vegas before they'd go to St. Louis. I just don't see that happening. I agree, though. It would be epic tragedy to go to St. Louis.
Something else to point out is that people in Jackson County, voters are kind of up in arms, saying that the Hunt family should pay for the majority of it because they're millionaires. And I want to point out to people that that's not how it works. I mean, cities pay for these major league teams
100%. Yep,
and that's just the way it is. And it's unfortunate maybe, but that's the way it is. So I don't know that you can be so upset. And on top of that, Kansas City is a small market team. Like they don't make near what a team way less successful in either of the New York teams. They don't make near as much as they do. So the Hunt family didn't make their fortune with the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Hunt made his fortune in numerous different ways, numerous different business ventures, and it's not just due to the Chiefs. So the Chiefs is was Lamar Hunt's baby, his hobby. Yeah, basically. Yep. So I if you're ever really bored, educate yourself on Lamar Hunt. He had a fascinating life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fascinating. And I mean, you could write college papers on it. It was fascinating. So let's just hope that they stay close.
They're staying close. You heard it here first. They're not going too far. They're not going out of the metro area.
Yeah, I mean, if they went over there to where the Speedway is, there's so much there though. The Speedway, the soccer stadium,
sounds like a perfect fit.
The minor league baseball teams over there. I mean, there's so many things, but I saw the area they had mapped out for it, and it's away from all of that stuff quite a bit. So they could build their own hotels there, like nightlife thing there. I mean, it could be a whole deal. But if they stay in their current location, they could tear down the Royals Stadium and build up a new stadium there and tear down Arrowhead, or they could keep Arrowhead, tear down, the Royals Stadium and make some sort of
commercial
nightlife area.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
Here's what I propose, man. That Sprint campus is mostly dead right now. We could put the Chiefs Stadium right there. I mean, right in the middle of Overland Park, man. It'd be a 10-minute drive for me to go see a game.
That would be horrible for so many other things, though. Plus, I mean, a ton of people rent out that Sprint complex.
Yeah,
a ton of different
high
businesses.
School and they do as much as they can to get something out of that empty space. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's a playful little thing. Yeah, there's no way it's going to Overland Park, but
It'd be interesting, though. Yeah, the Royal Stadium looks to be basically right on top of where the Kansas City Star is right now, because Kansas City Star is looking to get rid of that location because print died.
It's going out. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely scared, though. I'm definitely scared. Anything else on your mind about the Chiefs?
No, man, I'm really excited to get this season on the ground. I just can't wait to see what this season holds. I've said it a bunch of times. Last year was an off year. Last year wasn't even a rebuilding year. It was an off year. This year was going to be the year we rebuilt. And we went back to 2 Super Bowls. So how can we not make it to a 3rd Super Bowl in a row? I don't see how it's possible that we won't even make it. So I'm already there. I'm already at the Super Bowl right now. The rest of this is all just kind of fodder.
See, and I'm just really, really worried because that's all they've been saying. So usually coaches and players, will say the whole, we're going to play it week by week.
Game by game.
And every appearance from Mahomes or Kelsey anywhere has turned into, we're going back, baby, 3-peat. And
that's what everybody wants to hear.
If we're winning, it will be a boon. If we're losing by 3 points a few games early in the season, I think it could really be toxic in the locker room if that happens.
But we had an 8-game stretch in this last season where we lost 5 games. And if there was going to be toxic in that locker room, I would think it would be during that stretch. And I think, Mahomes, maybe you could argue because there were no expectations for last season, then it wasn't as toxic of a thing. But I mean, there's definitely going to be expectations this year, so maybe you're right. Maybe a losing streak like that, or a losing streak like that might shake them, but I just don't see it. Mahomes is such a strong leader. Kelsey is, they're really lucky. We're really lucky as fans right now. I don't think that can be overstated.
Yeah, duh. Yeah, we're definitely super lucky. I'm always worried. What's worried me from the start of Mahomes' career is just I've always wanted him to stay humble and stay a student of the game, because having so much success right out of the gate, I'm surprised he's been able to stay as humble as he has, but he has to work. I think he needs to work on it hard. Stay humble. Like feel like he needs to have it written on everything around his house, just because it's going to be bad. I think this year, especially because of all the buildup. If things go wrong, it's going to be scary. But let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. But, also on that same note, Andy Reid is definitely has control over the locker room, including Mahomes. And I think Mahomes is smart enough to know that when Andy Reid is telling you something, even if it's not what you want to hear, that's your best course of action is to follow him. And I think if he just, stays on, Andy Reid is always right, even if it doesn't feel right, he's not going to lead you astray. We're in the middle of a dynasty right now, and it's just so much fun to watch. I agree. I hope that Mahomes does not let this get to his head. And you're right, the tendency is there, but he's been around this atmosphere his whole life. So,
which is definitely a boon.
Definitely.
The way he grew up with his dad and everything, and getting to hang out with all the Major League Baseball players, in the locker room and stuff. But I will say, when we were leading up to the Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl, I started to see it. I started to see that cockiness and that separation from being humble. And he was going out and he was, basically like kind of saying that he was the best over Tom. And ever since that game, you'll notice in interviews and things, it's changed to, well, Tom Brady's the GOAT, and I think he should be saying that for the rest of his life and let other people say no, yeah. Patrick, you're the GOAT.
I think he will.
And have it be like, oh, thank you. But, and that's where you stay humble. But he was leading up to that Super Bowl. He was real full of himself, and then he got his ass whooped in that Super Bowl.
But I think it's a double serving thing, what you're saying. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Not only does it throw that attention off him, but it also motivates him. Because if he's saying it, that there's still a part of him that believes Tom Brady is the GOAT. And if you want to go by Super Bowl wins, there's zero doubt. There's no debate. Tom Brady's got 7. I still think Mahomes is a better quarterback, but he hasn't won more Super Bowls. So that's where we're at on that.
I mean, he three-peats this year, and I think he's the GOAT. At least the GOAT for, I don't know.
There's always going to be those voices that say, it's all about, it's a numbers game. 7 is a big number.
Yeah, if we're comparing their careers to when they started to up to now, he definitely is the GOAT.
For sure, yeah.
Like, he's the GOAT over anybody going into their 7th year, basically. So, yeah, like, there is that, he's played for, 6 years, and he's won 3 Super Bowls and been to, 3 other AFC championships when he didn't make the Super Bowl?
Yeah. He's never not made the AFC championship game.
Yeah, so...
Is that ridiculous?
That's
ridiculous. The most ridiculous thing I've ever even said out of my mouth.
It's ridiculous and scary, and yeah, and dude, and to do it without filming other teams and without deflating balls.
Yep.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty special. It really is.
It's the only people, that were more special cheated multiple times.
I'll tell you, that's the one thing I failed at in life is my son, 15 years old. He just doesn't care at all. I'm like, but you don't understand what you're missing right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he'll get into sports later and be like, dang it.
I know. We woke him up. When they won the first Super Bowl, he was asleep in bed. We woke him up for the last couple of minutes. He's like, "Can I go back to bed now?" Yes. At least you got to see it.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I mean, you got to see downtown the last Super Bowl. I've been downtown the last 2.
Yeah, that was a really good time. I had to work the next day, so I was really I think I called in the night. I didn't get out of there till 3:00. There was no leaving.
Your boss told you that it was okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Anything else you want to cover? This might just be a short episode.
I think just where to find us.
Yeah, you can find us basically everywhere at BuknBob, BuknBob, Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yep,
we're out there. Yep.
All of those places. And how can you help the podcast? You can give us stars on iTunes, on Spotify, and BuknBob@gmail.com if you want to write into us. Give us some tips. Leave
comments, please.
Yeah,
good or bad. We need to hear it all.
Yeah.
I got thick skin.
I've been doing podcasts for a while, but it's the first time I've done a sports one, and we're just kind of talking as fans and doing that thing that you would do. We want this podcast to be like we're talking to you, so we want people to write in. We want people to write in with questions, with different things you want us to talk about. We want it to feel like you're at work listening to us and you're having the conversation with us. So write into us and let us know whatever. Buck, where can we find you?
On Twitter at Bucktastic. That's BUK_TASTIK.
And you can find me on Twitter at blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for your time. Let's go Chiefs.
Bye.